Cars turning left in front of us is one of the most dangerous things that can happen to a motorcyclist in an intersection. So let's make sure we wear gear so we have insurance for our body, and let's find that hazard well ahead of time so we can avoid it. At the end of this month, I'll be participating in the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride, and during this time, I am raising money for men's mental health and prostate cancer research. If you would like to donate to this wonderful cause, please click the link in the description or participate in a ride near you. I'll be participating in the Tucson ride, so if you're here locally or you want to travel, let's go ahead and hang out and meet up and have a great time. Mother! Wow, that was a very emotionally charged accident. Remember, we're going to go over what went right, what went wrong, and how we can use this information to prevent ourselves from ever having this type of crash. First and foremost, let's wear gear, okay? So gear is going to play a huge role when it comes to insuring your body, okay? So just in case something happens that quite possibly could be out of your control, the gear is our last line of defense to keep us from getting severely injured or even dying. You'll actually see kind of a little bit of road rash towards the end, and we'll go over that. Also speed, okay? So 43 miles per hour. Most cities like this is going to be 35. I'm unsure if this may be a 45-mile road. But let's slow down our speed, especially when coming up to intersections, okay? So intersections definitely play a huge role in firefighter fatalities and injuries and double vehicle accidents, okay? Or two vehicle collisions is what they actually call it. So let's move forward to this. So we're going 66 miles per hour. Okay, well, originally it was 43 into 45 possibly. We're going 66. We're speeding into a vehicle, and you can kind of see it right here. All right, 61 miles an hour when we start doing any type of evasive maneuvers. And when I say evasive maneuvers, you can kind of see his right hand grabbing that front brake with just his middle finger, okay? So that's also improper. There's actually a technique where you grab that brake lever with your longest finger, which typically means your middle finger, and you pull a little bit closer to where you can actually get it with the rest of your hand, okay? But I don't think that's what he's doing here. I think he's doing a panic brake. That's not good, okay? So remember, you have to swerve and then brake, or brake and then swerve. You do not brake and swerve at the same time. You do not have enough traction on that front tire to do that. Plus, if you start sliding or you start braking with that front brake and you try to move that tire to go left or go right, it's not going to do it because you locked it up. So that's going to be the problem there. So make sure you brake, then swerve, or swerve, then brake. Sometimes it's better to brake, then swerve. That way you can decrease your speed and increase your space cushion and then swerve out of the way. Hopefully the guy got out of the way. Or you can swerve and then brake if it got too late and you need to do something other than braking. Okay, so he's going to crash right here. Put his hands down. Okay, let's scroll back just a little bit, okay? So your first instinct is to put your hands down if you start falling forward. That is a human instinct. It's your body's basically telling you, hey, hands, arms, legs, everything. Let's protect our core. Let's protect our head. So this is something typical that you're going to do. So when you have your hands on asphalt, remember, it's sandpaper and you're going at a high rate of speed, you're going to have stuff ripped off. All right, so we're going to move forward, and what we're going to see is that his shoe flew off. So he's wearing regular dad shoes here. Now, these are New Balance. Just kidding. No, these are regular shoes you shouldn't be wearing on the road because you can see how it flew off, okay? If you're going to have boots or anything like that, they are going to be way more secure to that, and when you start tumbling even more and more and more, you're going to reduce a lot more injuries. So having regular shoes is not going to be the ideal. Also, you see how in his jeans, they completely ripped at the knee. That right there is an impact zone, got ripped. Now he's going to have abrasion and impacts to that left knee and quite possibly to the right knee also. That is why gear has knee armor in the knees and has hip armor in the hips. So let's move forward again a little bit. And we're rolling and rolling and rolling. So he's really pissed off, high emotion, high intensity, and that is typical after a crash. You're going to have the most massive endorphin dump and epinephrine dump, which is just adrenaline. All right, so what we have here is the bike. So let's take a quick look at that. And we're not focused on the rider real quick. Let's look at the bike. Look how far the rider slid and fell. The bike quite possibly hit that vehicle, and then he slid and was able to dodge it. Okay, so that was actually very lucky for the rider. He's able to kind of limp away from this, but his bike's definitely not. He's going to have issues with liabilities and insurance and everything. So that is something that you want to keep in mind. Okay, so he went that far. So realize that. That's how much road rash you're going to possibly have. So when we keep moving forward, he's going to do a quick check. That's when pain starts creeping in. So we have discoloration, obviously on the top of the hand. We have a little bit of black mark on his right hand, on his knuckles. Okay, so Motorcycle Gloves has armor in the knuckles and on the outside on his left hand. You see how it's discoloration? They have it there too. That is why we wear gear. This right here would have been just really torn up gloves, and then he could take those off and replace them. But now he's going to have to live with this, okay? Also, you see discoloration on the left arm up towards the left elbow. Now, where do we have armor and abrasion-resistant material on our jackets? Exactly. So, guys, at GAT, make sure you wear your gear all the time. All the gear, all the time. So right here, you see him moving, and he doesn't have a shoe. He's going to hopefully relax. There's more to this video than what I'm showing you. I will have the link to all of future videos in the description, so if you want to check out the full video, there you go. But yes, he's going to start feeling this, and the type of injuries he's going to have is going to start showing up a little bit later. So make sure 911 is called, and then if you feel like you don't want to go to the hospital, remember, you can always refuse service. At least here in the United States, it's considered kidnapping if they take you. So know your rights, even when it comes to EMS. All right. So let's scroll back to the beginning. So high rate of speed, not paying attention to the intersections, and not wearing gear are the three major factors that I see, okay? So speed, high rate of speed is going to play an issue here. So we're speeding up towards an intersection where a car is going to turn left in front of us. Let's slow it down, everybody. There's no reason to be doing this. I know it's so fun to feel the power between our legs and how we're moving. It's like a chair taking us to our next destination. It's beautiful. Anyways, let's not do that. Let's slow it down and wear full gear. Remember, we're on a deadly machine. Let's wear the gear that keep us hopefully safe. You know, you can't prevent it all the time, but it's going to minimize a lot of the risk, okay? That's what we're doing here. Intersections are extremely dangerous, especially people turning left in front of us. So we need to practice our emergency evasive maneuvers. Remember, search, evaluate, execute. We need to search for that hazard. We need to evaluate if it is a hazard, and then we need to execute an evasive maneuver if it is needed. That is the takeaway from this, guys. Remember, what's good, what's bad, what can we learn? What's good in this situation? Not much, really. The lane positioning is not going to save him. The fact that he doesn't have any gear and he's going at a high rate of speed and he's not paying attention to intersections, this is like the trifecta of bad decisions. So there's not much I could say about the good. The bad, we've already talked about, speed, gear, intersections, and what we can do to learn from this. Okay, so slow down. Wear your gear and focus on the hazards and intersections that are coming up. All right, guys, with that said, I hope you ride safe, be safe, and I'll be seeing you around.